In this video, I'm going to go over Hostinger's website building platform. They do have several different ways you can build a website. You could use WordPress, you could use PHP, HTML, and a couple others, but I recommend the drag and drop builder for beginners because of its ease of use, and it's very, very easy to create and edit a website. They have pre-made templates, and you can also use their AI. So I'll be showing you that in this video, and I will also leave a link to Hostinger down in the description. So with that, let's get started. So here I am in my Hostinger account, and what you want to do with your account is as soon as you get into it, you'll want to click websites. And as you can see here, these are the three sites that I have on this Hostinger account. And to create a new website, you would just click add website. And I'm going to go with the website builder. It's their basically like their own proprietary website builder. If you're into like PHP or WordPress, you can also do that. WordPress is probably one of the most popular. But with this type of builder here, this website builder, it's very, very easy, drag and drop. So I'm going to click that. And here we go. So it's going to ask you to enter the name and then enter like a description. I'm going to paste in a description here and I'm going to call it, this is just an example, by the way, Home Barista Academy. And what that is like I picked the coffee niche. So I put this here, focuses on transforming novices into skilled home baristas through video tutorials, equipment reviews, and troubleshooting guides. So then I'm going to go ahead and click create a website. Or you can do the pre-made templates, but for this, I'm going to use their AI and go ahead and create one. So I will be back shortly. So here is what it created. And right here, you can actually go through it without even clicking continue. You can look just to see, like if you like the general setup of what it will look like. And, from here, you could check out the pages. So this would be like the blog page. This would be the tutorial page here. You can see all the pictures that it put in there for you. Here would be where your logo would go. So if you like this, or you could change the color palettes. So I'm going to go with this one here and just see what it does. I'll click continue to edit site. And right here you can see the different sections that you can edit. So you can actually generate images, new images to use within the site itself. You can also, you could right here would be your domain. You would connect your domain. Um, right here you could change. This gives you kind of like some section of different things you can do with the sections, like copy section, paste. You could hide or show. Mobile, desktop, you could look at the different views that you want to see what it would look like. And you can see here the section. So you would click, if you wanted to add an element, you've got text, a button, video, gallery, image. So all the different types of things here that you can add different elements. You could also just click add section and it will give you the different little formats that they have for the sections that are already set up. You would just click one and add it in, or you could do this, add a blank section, and you could just do a section from scratch. So these are the options right here on the side. So this is the pages and navigation. So like if you wanted to look at blog, you click on the blog, same thing. You go to SEO, this is the different settings that it has, social image, SEO settings, password, rename, page URL. This would be the tutorials page. And you can also turn this on, which would be before you publish your site. It would be like kind of like a coming soon. So if people visited, they would see that the site isn't ready yet, and it would say coming soon. This right here is the different styles for the website. So all the different color styles. These are the different fonts that they have available that you can use. These are the buttons, primary, secondary, primary, secondary. You can see the shapes of the buttons are different. Um, this would be the animations. So with this, you would go to edit styles. You could do a layout of the header. You could change the spacing. You could change the link spacing. So you see when I do this, you could see the menu up here changes. So you could set that however you want. Top and bottom spacing, that would be the actual menu at the top, the spacing for that. Make header sticky. So if you want it to be where every time you scrolled, the header stayed here, no matter where you were on the page, you would change this. You could turn it on and off. So that is that section of the settings for the header. And this goes for most of the sections. It would be pretty much the same thing. Like you could have a logo, edit logo. You could change the logo. You could use their AI to create a logo. This would be the style. So header background, transparent header. So right here, when I do that, you can see that it uses the color of this section up here. So you could have it be transparent. Right here would be the text font. If you want to do a different font, you would change. You could click that, and it would change the font. This is also the header text color. So if you wanted the text color, you could see up here how it changes. Make it lighter. You could do that. And also too, you can save it. Auto save is on, so it'll save automatically. And then you could go into, so for example, button, you could go into that. You could also go into, have it as the same style as the header. This would be the layout of what it looks like, where it is on the page. So if I wanted the logo on that side on the left, you see it changes. If you want the menu in the center, if you wanted the logo here and then the menu on the left, you'd click that. So there's lots of different things you can do. I usually leave the logo on this side and I leave the menu here, but again, you can do it however you want. So that is the settings for that. And this button here will show you what it will look like on a phone. So if you're looking at it on some kind of like mobile device, you could view it that way. And you could also change it through here. You could still, add and edit everything even through this view. And this would be AI tools. They have tons of different AI tools here. They have an AI image generator, a writer, a page generator. So like if you click this, you could create a whole new page. You would just, like right here, create an About Us page for sustainable Italian restaurant. This would be about coffee. So you would say create an About Us page for coffee baristas, and such and such. You just put whatever you wanted and then create page and it will create a whole new page for you. This would be the blog settings. So if you're going to create a blog, for example, this is like a blog post example. This would be like basically the setup. You could edit the blog header here on this section, the layout in the background. And then obviously you could change the text in here. This would be the post URL. The post date would be here. You could schedule the post. This would be the featured image. You could change that. And this would be the category. So like if you had categories here, you could select whatever category you wanted. This would be the store button. So if you wanted to make a store out of this, like people that sell coffee, like the drop shipping type of coffee, I guess you could say, and and even anything like with an online store, you would just click the add store, and then you could start adding products. And it gives you like all these different SEO settings. You could manage backups. You can export content to WordPress even. Forms, integrations, general settings, blogs. So like if I clicked integrations, you can add so many different things. You can put ads with AdSense. You can have something to do with WhatsApp here, you could add like a chat, and you'll get the notifications on WhatsApp. You can add in custom code here. This would be the website setup, so it gives you like all the steps. So you got to edit the heading text, the image, paragraph, social media icons, and then you hit go live. So what you would do is after you finished creating the site itself, you could, turn this on depending on, when you were going to actually make the site go live. You could hit go live when it goes live, or right here, you could hit preview, and this would basically show you like what this page would look like. So I'm going to go back to editor, click on pages and navigation, click on home. This is what it would look like here. So you would have it set up again. You could, also change this background video if you'd like, so it's basically very, very easy to customize something like this with this type of drag and drop builder. Something real quick here when you're editing the header section, there's also ways that you can turn on these buttons to edit. So like for example, right here in Elements, you can do the button, you can show it, and this button would be something that you would link to. You could also turn on and off the social icons, and then you would come in and you would be able to, link those to something. So that's just one of the other settings that you can go to. And within pages and navigation, so like example, so this drop down right here, you would say you could do add link. So you could link, another page on this page, another navigation link. And that would, you could also have this setting here for open in new page. So when someone clicked tutorials, for example, you would have it open in a new page. This would be add a new dropdown. So this would be the dropdown here. And then you could rename it to whatever you wanted. So what you could do, for example, with like a dropdown, so like if you had multiple other pages that you created for this site, so right here, I'll click add page and I will just hit for example, new empty page and then save it. What you would do is you would grab this and then you would drop it here. And what it does is it actually puts it underneath this as a drop down. So like you would see here, new drop down, and then this will be the page. And then you would click it and it would open that page. So that's an example of this navigation settings of what you can do. And then of course to come in and you could just delete it. You could do create QR code, social image, move out of drop down. You could also password protect it. You could duplicate it, rename it. You get the page URL. You could make it as the home page. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So that's one of the settings with this pages and navigation. Real quick, I wanted to show another setting as far as like the fonts. So if you clicked this here, you could get to the website styles settings and you could change the whole entire font of the site. You click it, and as you see, when I click it, it changes the font. So it's going to depend on what you want. I can scroll through here and find like there's one called Sans Serif, I believe. I'm just not sure where it would be or if they would even have it. So like if I clicked this one, you could see everything change. You could also change the fonts inside the paragraphs right here. So like you click it, it changes it to, uppercase, then it changes it to just the first letter is uppercase. You could also change the weight and the size of the font itself. And this one would be for like the navigation links. So like as you look at the top up here, it changes from uppercase to just a capital letter of the word. Just to quickly go over more settings here. If you click general, this will give you the right here the favicon. So you could add an image to the favicon and it showed you the preview of what it would look like here. This would be the link preview image. So if you put another image here, you could see what it would look like. Down here would be cookie banner. So like the disclaimer text, this website uses cookies to provide necessary site functionality and to improve your experience. And right here, lets you adds a www to the beginning of your domain. So I would say overall, this website builder is pretty good for beginners. It's not really that difficult to set up a website through Hostinger. So I would recommend if you're just starting out to use this, or you could also, use any of the other website builders that they have, such as I was going to say HTML, PHP. That's a little bit more advanced, but things like WordPress. I started out using WordPress. WordPress is one of the more popular ones. But as far as using something like Hostinger to set up a website, it's pretty quick, and there's a lot less to deal with because the reason I say that is because WordPress has a whole bunch of different plugins for functionality. So there's a little bit of a learning curve. But with something like this, you can mess around with a website and make it look however you like before you even go live. So, I mean, not that you couldn't do that with other builders. It's just the ease of use with this one and the functionality. And then, of course, like right here, like I showed before, you click preview and then you can get an idea of what it looks like before you went live with it. So hopefully this, gave you somewhat of an idea of how to start a website and how to build one with this website builder on Hostinger's platform. All right, that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully it gave you some idea of how to build a website using Hostinger. I may or may not do one in the future using WordPress. There's so many other WordPress tutorials out there. It's very easy to find how to build a website with WordPress, but at least Hostinger has the option as well, which most of the website hosting accounts nowadays, they all have it. So again, I will leave the link down to Hostinger in the description. And with that, I will see you in the next one.